Hello everyone, this is a quick look at the 2022 LEGO Marvel Venom action figure. Now I bought this for its retail price of $25 US and built it live on Twitch. It comes with 297 pieces. First thing that I want to do here is give you a sense of its scale right after I just give you an idea of what it looks like and what its overall shape and presentation is from some different angles. So here is an old character and creature building system action figure from those days. This is one of the later generations ones, so it's a little bit taller than the average, comparing it to a Marvel regular mech, the cheap ones, the $10 ones, and then to a minifig as well. Didn't want to bring in a Venom minifig in particular because I don't want to give you the impression accidentally that this comes with a Venom minifigure, because it does not. So this is decently sizable, and definitely relative to action figures on the market, it has the potential to give you decent value for your money. As you would expect, this shares many design features and approaches to the prototype for this new series of brick-based large action figures, which was, of course, the Iron Man that came out last season. But this is its own thing. You know, it does take things detail-wise in a number of different directions, and the set does not have any stickers in it whatsoever, so anything that looks like a decoration is thankfully a print, including that lower mouth right there, which is actually printed on the side of the piece, and it's almost printed edge to edge. That's a really, really good one there. The white, when the set was first announced, I was worried that the white would be, you know, on the real things compared to the renders and the hero product shots, photographs. I thought that the white might be kind of gray, and it is. But thankfully, it's not something that really disturbs me that much here. You know, if you look over here on the side, you can see what the white should be, and then you see what the white that's printed onto these black pieces actually is. It's not that bad. It's not that far off for a toy. I would like to always ask them to do better, and especially the eyes here where it's printed, you know, around a curve. You see a little bit of separation starts to happen between different little micro sheets of the paint on there, but it's still not that bad. You know, doesn't bug me that much. The way the head is done is actually kind of cool, and you're able to open and close the mouth a little bit, which is unusual for things from this series. And the head is jointed with a small Mixel's ball joint, but it's really, really close in there. You don't really see the neck, so this is an effective joint right here. I'll take you through all of the articulation of this. The head does use the exact same mold as this over here, and same thing used for the shoulder there. The elbows have a single axis of rotation, and they're not able to extend all the way. So you're not able to get the arms to be completely straight. You got plenty of articulation for the wrists because they're on ball joints that are oriented well. And then each of these fingers is able to independently articulate. So that's nice. You can get a lot of expressiveness out of those. The body itself is mostly built studs on the side. So studs up towards the front, studs back on the back, and here you get even more prints. That's a lot of prints. It's a fair number of prints. Studs on top here, but then also, you know, going back to studs on the side, other sides, front, back, side, all around. Ratchet joint right here, building on basically every axis all the way around here. Similar thing down here, and partial ball joints used for the knee. Hey, the knees actually work. That's good. And down here at the ankles, which have some limitations, notice that the anti-stud surface of the feet is facing outward, which is unusual, but works just fine. And overall, there's a decent amount of stability here. I mean, this is actually angling forward right now. You know, the center of gravity is quite far forward, so that's not too bad with the level of strength there. And this is actually at its limit. That makes sense that they limited it there. You don't have one. Oh, okay, so it is able to go back. It is able to go back too far, but still, I mean, leaning back a bit. There we go. That's right about where it wants to fall over. Right about there is about the limit of it. So it definitely does a lot better going forward, which makes sense because you got the long centers of the feet there. But overall, this is decent to pose it. You are able to move the pauldrons, the shoulders out of their own way a little bit because these are on small ball joints inside of there, so you're able to get a little bit more room. And this does have that same feature that was the least liked thing, one of the least liked things about the Iron Man with the shoulder ball joint being so low. The actual connection point is low, whereas the pauldron is up just a little bit above where you'd want that shoulder to be. But overall, you can pose this thing around decently, and it feels confident. Not too much really wants to fall off here. Probably the fingers are going to be the worst things, but even those are connected, I think, well enough with the Exoforce arms on there. I just don't feel a lack of confidence in this. It does have the ability to rotate at the waist, and it can go a full 360 degrees. It has a ball joint inside of there, which is only limited to a single axis of rotation. And then you got all this right here. This is a little bit loose, I will say. That ratcheting right there, I feel like there's a mold that needs to be replaced, maybe for the insert piece. It's just not quite as strong as it used to be, not as strong as it should be. Plenty of room to rotate. Sorry about the angle there, not coming out right. Rotate forward and back. This has decent range of motion as well. And when you're also able to splice, when you put it all together, let's see, will that stand? Yes, just like that. That's actually pretty good. I would want that to be able to stand. This should not stand, but it does, really? Okay. It's confidence inspiring. Let me reach out with this one. Let's have them do something silly like this. Yeah, really limited in the ankles for a good reason, though. Yeah, that's pretty decent for this to just stand. There we go. It's finally fallen over. Yeah. Okay. So this just kind of makes sense to me. Its range for something that's made of Lego, what it can do and what it can't do, and it's not too frustrating to get it from a point of instability into a point of at least being good enough, standing up well enough. So I think the overall kinetic design of it is good, and it takes care of its center of gravity well enough, has the range enough to get it some expressiveness, and overall it's not bad. I just kind of wish that the chest was a little bit thicker, because it does feel a bit pancakey here, a little bit thin as viewed from the side, wide as viewed from the front by comparison. And I do kind of wish that the elbows could be straightened out. Otherwise, not too bad. And here are the only leftover pieces from the set. Again, I paid $25 US for this, which I think is reasonable by today's standards, looking at the action figure market, for this much stuff. And yes, it is for kids. It is very much an 8+ thing, but I think there's enough going on with this that a number of folks above that range would be happy with this. I'm not going to say that automatically about everything from this line, but 25 for this I think feels okay. However, it is also £25 UK, which is a bit more. And it's also 30 euros base price in Germany. So both of those prices are higher. Yes, they have VAT included. The US's tax is much lower than VAT in European regions. So overall, I think that the US is getting the better deal here. But in general, it's within the range. It's within a decent range. I will review the other two sets that came out from this series in its first full season, which are the Miles Morales and Spider-Man. I'll review those two together. And the answer is not going to be exactly the same. The overall impression is not going to be exactly the same as it was for this, because there's not 100% consistency across the line. So stay tuned for those and other reviews to come. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.